All right, so welcome back to Introduction to Synthesizers, a free course that will teach you all the skills you need to start working with synths. Now, in the previous videos, we learned how all synthesizers, regardless of type, will follow the very same simple three-step process for creating new sounds. Step number one is to produce a raw sound. Step number two is to modify that sound. And then step number three is to amplify it so it can actually be heard. Today, we have a super short but very important topic to tackle, and that is the concept of creating monophonic versus polyphonic synths. Now, while this isn't a super flashy or exciting lesson, these concepts are super important to understand because they play a massive role in both the physical and expressive capabilities of your instruments moving forward. So, with that, let's get started. Monophonic and polyphonic are just fancy words that literally mean one sound or many sounds. And in this context, they are used to describe the capabilities of an instrument. You see, monophonic instruments like the trumpet or the flute can typically play only one note at a time, while polyphonic instruments like a piano, a harp, or a pipe organ can all play multiple notes at the same time. And synthesizers can be sorted across the same two categories. Some synths, like the Plucks series here in Reactor 6, are strictly monophonic. This synthesizer can only play one part at a time. In this case, one part being defined as a single note on a keyboard or in a MIDI sequencer. Yes, we can get clever with oscillator configurations or super strong filter resonance to create multiple pitches at the same time. But those multiple pitches are all triggered by the same note. In this case, I am playing middle C on my little keyboard. And it's triggering multiple pitches because I've used multiple different oscillators to create a doubling and detuning with a sub-oscillator configuration, which we just learned about in the last video. But if I try to play multiple different notes, the sound won't change because this is a monophonic synth. It can only register one note at a time. Specifically, the settings I have set up will only register the lowest note being played at any given point in time. Unlike a synth with polyphonic capabilities like Massive X, which can play nearly as many different notes as I can throw at it. Now, there are advantages to both types. In episode 1, we talked about how the pluck style synths and pads are both typically polyphonic in nature, because they're often used to play chords and other harmonic roles, while basses and leads are both typically monophonic, because they tend to be performed, more like traditional instruments. If you think about instruments like a violin, or trumpet, or flute, or even a singer, any instrument or sound used to play a melody, they're usually played monophonically, which allows the musician to make subtle little changes to their sound as they play. Whether they get a little softer near the end of a phrase, or they get a bit louder, or they add some vibrato to the mix, or they add a little bit of a glide and portamento, they'll do all kinds of weird, subtle little things to make their music more expressive. In fact, this is what it means to perform expressively, to make subtle shifts in pitch, timbre, or loudness in real time while performing an idea. And most techniques for creating those expressive types of performances, like portamento and legato, are traditionally only possible on monophonic synths. And this is why it's important to be deliberate about this decision when designing a new sound. Do you want your synth to be polyphonic or monophonic? Most software synths will give you the option to choose, and that choice usually involves two specific settings. First, you'll select either monophonic or polyphonic. Here in Massive X, we find it underneath the voice tab, and we see polyphony. Do we want it polyphonic or monophonic? If you choose monophonic, that's it, you're done. Super simple. You don't need to do anything else. There are other options that will be unique to each and every synth that you work with, but the basic fundamentals, mono or poly, choose mono, you're good. That's all you gotta do. But if you choose polyphonic, you have an additional step. You must choose the maximum number of voices or parts that your synth can play at one time. In Massive X, this can be as many as, 64 voices all at once. In Massive, we can find it in the same basic tab, the voicing tab, where you can select between polyphonic, monophonic, or mono rotate, which is a unique setting specifically to Massive, but the two basics, polyphonic and monophonic, are both right here. And once again, the maximum number of voices possible is 64. In Apps and 6, it's hidden here on the patch window. In the final row, there's an arrow next to mix. Click that, and you can choose between monophonic or polyphonic. If you are working with polyphonic, you then have to go to the Assign tab to select how many voices. Once again, the maximum being all the way up to 64. Choosing the maximum number of voices you want to use for a synth comes down to the type of sound you're creating, and it involves our nifty little friends that we've learned so much about, the envelope generators. Remember that each envelope has a release stage, meaning the note has ended, but the synth is still technically playing as it returns to silence. If I play a new chord, but I don't have enough voices, then any new notes I play will cut off the previous ones before their tails are done. Which is why it's generally a good practice to set the maximum number of voices to at least double the number of voices you actually plan to use. So in this case, giving it 6 voices, so that the tails can overlap with the new chords. Setting your maximum voices to double or even triple the number of voices you actually tend to use helps ensure that the full envelope of each note can be heard. If that's not a priority to you, and you actually like the idea of clipping it off to create a nice, clean, quality sound, then go for it. But generally speaking, you're not going to want to max out the number of voices and just automatically set it to 64, just because that can often end up being pretty demanding on most synthesizers. But if you are working with a software synth and you've got a nice strong computer, go for it. It's up to you and just about the quality of sound you want. Now, I get that this can be very confusing for people. There's a lot of theoretical kind of imagery you have to keep in your mind. So let's make it super simple. If you are choosing between monophonic versus polyphonic, you want to choose monophonic mode anytime that you want to regulate a synth to just playing one note at a time. This is most common for melodic, expressive ideas like leads and basses. However, you will want to choose polyphonic mode if you want your synth to play multiple voices at the same time. Or if you want to play a lead or bass line where the tail or release of your sound is important and you want your notes to bleed into each other a little bit or overlap just a little bit. But generally speaking, polyphonic mode will be most common for pads, plucks, and other harmonic background ideas. So with that taken care of, we have reached the end of another video, my friends. If you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Next week, we will be learning some strategies for giving your monophonic synths more realistic and expressive performance capabilities. To date, we have added the following items to your new synth checklist. If you find yourself working with a new synth and you can identify these simple tools, you'll be that much closer to mastering your new instrument. A special thank you goes to my patrons and channel members for making videos like this one possible. You can use the affiliate link in the description of this video to grab a copy of any of the synths used in these videos so far and follow along with the rest of this series. So until next time, my friends, keep studying, keep working hard, and keep writing new music. I will see you in the next video.